Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jag. I am a non-binary dark illustrator and aspiring tattoo artist on YouTube. Um, I wanted to start a long-form video drawing series. I appreciate all of you commenting on my first vlog. That was very exciting. That was very exciting for me. I'm glad you all resonated with it as much as it was for me. It was one of those things that I didn't think I was capable of doing. If you ever see like a project that's so huge and daunting, it just feels like impossible. It feels like something so far off in the distance that it's not something that you would be able to achieve. So getting that out there and seeing you all respond to it brought me an immense amount of joy. And I hope to continue to do things like that for you all. But in the meantime, we're starting a long-form drawing series. This is me working on pieces for my tattoo portfolio. As I said in the last video, I'm used to streaming long-form content on twitch.tv. Feel free to follow me on there. I haven't streamed there in a little bit, but we're getting back into it because, of course, I really miss talking to you all. I miss building an audience with a little bit more of like a one-on-one communication format, I guess, if that makes sense. I really enjoy streaming on Twitch because you get the live like interaction with people and you get to build community and build friendships and also build a place where a lot of other artists kind of get together and learn from one another. I have a lot of artist acquaintances and friends over on Twitch, and we've all really come together to learn from one another and to create new projects together. And it's such an immense web of a community over there. And you know, I wanted to kind of bring that here, if at all possible. I know it works a little bit different over here. You all are on your own little corner of the internet, but I really wanted to sit down, talk to you all, and kind of open a dialogue, open a conversation, if you would, in the comments and talk about things that we're really excited about and really looking forward to. For me right now, it's the tattoo portfolio. I know I talked about it a bit in my last video and we kind of ended on touching on a couple of things that I wanted to work on. And one of them was working on traditional art. I haven't done traditional art since college, and you know, I've been out of practice for a while, so coming back to it, relearning, restructuring has been a challenge. It's been a challenge for me. So I'm working on this 4-part cryptid series. As you can see, they have their own little designated corners on this page. If you've seen my hyenas or my crocodile, I made these into merch a long time ago. Did you know that you can still buy them? If you like any of these things, check out my merch store. It's pretty cool. I haven't made anything new in a while, but you know, maybe that'll change. Maybe that'll change now that I'm doing a little bit more stuff like this. So, but I like doing these really rigid kind of square designs, very Monster Hunter-esque. If you really like Monster Hunter is one of my favorite games. Don't tell anyone. Very Monster Hunter-esque, but I like how rigid and sharp these designs end up being. Even though I have a very flowy style, it kind of adds like a little bit of an edge when I confine them into these shapes. And it really forces you to think creatively on how these forms are going to fit into the shape and how you can make sure it's a recognizable like object or creature. So for this one, this is a Kelpie, one of my favorite mythological creatures. A horse that comes up on shore and lures you onto its back and then drags you to the depths and drowns you and kills you. And I really like this mythological creature, so I wanted to start off with something a little bit more whimsy and flowy, just to get myself kind of in the groove for it. But we actually had a really open dialogue on Instagram about how even though your first idea may be your best idea, taking the time to refine it 1 or 2 more times really helps with making sure that all the elements come across clear and they flow together a little bit better. I'll put an image insert in here on my thumbnail sketches for this piece, but I'm very much an artist where conceptually I feel pretty sound. Like, I have some really good ideas and I understand animal anatomy really well because I've been studying it for a very long time. There's always more to learn, but I'm much more comfortable drawing animals than people or humanoids. It's pretty obvious in my art, but I have gotten better. Okay, I have gotten better. I have taken the time to push myself a little bit more. So I'm much more comfortable with animals and animal anatomy. But even then, like, comparing the first thumbnail I made for this sketch and like the refined version of the same form placement, the shapes and the flow of it are so much better. Just taking that second time around to really think about, especially with the legs, I think that's the point where I was able to refine it better and it made a lot more sense and had a lot more elegance to it. Because I wanted these hooves to basically be folding in underneath the body of the Kelpie, but in order to do that, especially in a contained form, they had to be placed at a weird angle. But looking at like the first thumbnail sketch of it, it is way more rigid. Like, it doesn't have the same flow or gentle, like the gentle curves that I was looking for. And then you can see I tried making 2 more thumbnails that were different because I was like, well, this one is good, but it's not reading all the shapes correctly. So let me try 2 different ones instead. And both of those I believe failed failed miserably in comparison to the first one. But there was just something wrong with it. So I went back and I tried it again, and in doing so, I think the result is much stronger, like much stronger as a piece conceptually and readability wise. The shapes make a lot more sense. So kind of looking at that from an artistic perspective and sitting down, and even though you may conceptually be really strong the first or second time, it's always worth going back. It's always worth going back. And I've had to spend some more time editing in the sketch phase rather than just kind of jumping to the line art. And as an artist, like, the line art is probably my favorite part. Like, let's be so for real. Being the lines part is the lines part. Hello, the line art part of it is my favorite part as an artist. So my favorite part as an artist. What am I saying? Hello. Ah. Oh, okay. But doing the line work is the stage that I'm most comfortable doing. So I want to run and speed run to doing that as quickly as possible. But in doing so, a lot of the conceptual parts can kind of fall to the wayside. And I think these are the moments that I need to focus on more as an artist, is refining and working through it a little bit more critically than just, oh, this is good enough, let me move on. Because in doing so, I think it hurts my work more than it's helping out. That's where we are in the drawing as of right now, is taking that finalized sketch after a bunch of conceptual thumbnailing, and we are now working on transferring it to the big paper. Now, this is where I kind of screw up. This is one of those moments where I highly recommend, just, even though you're really excited for the idea and you're really looking forward to doing it, make sure you have the proper tools before you just kind of gung-ho it, you know? You'll see eventually when I try to like erase the pencil lines on this piece of paper, it just smudges the entire thing because I didn't have the right eraser tool in order to do so. My first thought process was to do all the gray wash and then do the line work on top of it, because that would prevent some of the bleeding that happens when you're working with water and ink. And I was like, oh, I can do the gray wash first and foremost, and then try to do the line work on top of it. I just need to erase the pencil line work before doing so. But as we've come to find out, as I went to erase the lines, I just ended up smearing the graphite everywhere, as it just wasn't the right tool. As I'm like slowly working towards doing more traditional art, I'm slowly rebuilding like my tool set of things that I need in order to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And while I'm always like a fake it till you make it kind of person, if I don't have it, I will use my ingenuity and like figure out a workaround. And while that works a lot of the time, and you know, has like carried me pretty far in my art career, I definitely wish I would have just waited to get a kneaded eraser. It would have saved me so much headache. And you'll see, I get to that point and I just like stare at the piece for like a solid minute because I was in disbelief and shock, shock and awe. I didn't know what to do, and it felt like one of those moments where I was failing. But when we fail, that's when we, you know, you can either lock in and fix it, or you can give up. And it was one of those moments where I didn't want to give up. I really wanted to work on this piece. I was really excited for this piece. I had conceptualized it and sketched it out, and I thought it was at a point where it was absolutely beautiful and flowy. But I really just wanted to give up. I wanted to call it quits. So at that point, I just decided the only way through was forward. And I think I really enjoy the result. It's not that I don't like the result. I think the result is great. I am also working on letting go of things just not being perfect every single time, as much as I would like them to be. First time around, my first try, that's not reality. And this goes back to our point in the vlog of getting comfortable with making bad art. It's really difficult. It's really difficult sometimes. So even though I think the piece is successful, it's probably not my best piece. However, I need to finish the tattoo portfolio. There are other priorities. And I think finishing an idea and a concept and just continuing to move forward shows your flexibility as an artist. It shows that you continually want to create and will continually learn from your mistakes instead of getting hung up on them. So I'm just carrying forward. I'm gonna finish this what is it? Quad. There's a triptych. Quadtrick? Quoptic? I don't know. Listen, okay. Don't look at my degree on the wall. I've been there, I've done that. I don't remember though. My brain don't work too well sometimes. But I'm just gonna finish this four piece and put it in the portfolio and move on to the next thing. I think that's the best path forward. I have a couple more ideas. I have a chain flail that I really want to make. I'm really excited to make that one. Let me tell you. I think whatever I make next has to be really big. I have to show more detail. I love these pieces a lot. I think they're really sleek and show good line strength and good conceptual abilities. I think whatever I do next has to have way more detail. It has to have the intricacies that I feel like a lot of my pieces are lacking right now. Coming back to a long form video, I want to focus on kind of the point is the point TM. But I always like creating a co-working space. That was what most of my streams were co-working spaces. The streams were meant for other artists and other creatives to come on through and sit down and work together and ask for advice and encourage one another and uplift one another. And it's something that I very dearly miss. I haven't been streaming since I moved back in August. And we're coming up on the end of the year. We're coming up on the end of 2025 and I haven't gone back to it. But I wanted to kind of create that environment again. I want to create that environment for other people, for my continued viewers, and for anyone else who is also struggling with the difficulty of relearning something, the difficulty of just being an artist and going through the highs and lows. But we always create because we care about it, because we're passionate about it. And I like being around others who are equally as passionate about it. We talked about it briefly in the vlog as well, but being around a group of creatives that constantly push me to grow and to be better and to grow conceptually and technically and artistically, it brings me joy, and it really helps me develop and grow a lot faster as well. So we're here. I'm here for you all. If you ever want to sit here and co-work with me, that's the point. That's the point of these videos. If you need an hour of time to get through something and to focus on something, that's why I'm here. I'm gonna be posting more of these. I'm certainly filming each cryptid video, I guarantee ya. I already have the next one in the works. I'm really excited for you all to see the next one. It's a cryptid that I am very fond of, once again. Then again, I am only picking ones that I am very fond of. Because that's, you know, how my brain works. I like working on things that I personally have an interest in, because it helps me get through it a little bit faster. And to come up with new ways of creating them. Because a lot of these critters I've drawn many a time over, don't get me wrong. Many of these critters I've drawn at least 3 or 4 times before we've gotten to this point. So I'm pushing myself as far as interpretations of these critters and the application as well. So, but yes. Having a co-working space really helps me get through things, and it also gives us a place to kind of talk about our struggles and talk about what we're doing. I did post a short, and a lot of you all commented on it, which is huge, about celebrating your wins for 2025. And let me just say, you all shared some really incredible wins with me, both creatively and non-creatively. I am so happy for you all. Like I said, I want to be here to celebrate your wins. I love seeing creatives absolutely tackle goals, big and small. And having a space where we can share that with one another is really important to me. And I know, once again, the environment is a little bit different here, but in like the most non-parasocial way ever, I will say that having a group of people that uplifts you creatively helps drive that passion. And when we're living in a world where people are punching down on artists all the time, it feels good to be in a space where you feel accepted and that your work is valued, in a society where a lot of artists aren't being valued. So just remember that. Remember that whenever you come here. This is a spot for creatives. This is a spot for people growing. This is a spot for people to learn. This is a spot, no matter what kind of creative outlet you're focusing on. I care about music. I care about art. I care about video games. I care about film. I care about a lot of things, and I'm sure you all do too. I think any creative outlet, no matter what that looks like, it could be writing, it could be crocheting, it could be drawing, it could be tattooing, it could be video editing, it could be just talking. You really care about talking with others and understanding one another. I view all these things as the core of like the human experience, and in doing so, they are creative formats to me, if that makes sense. They are creative formats to me, so I want to hear all about it, of course. Yeah, so as the future holds for us, this video drawing series is co-working and getting my portfolio done. When I was streaming, that was like my designated time to make art. That was my designated time to sit down and do things. And while I've been able to really strongly be able to maintain creating and doing stuff for me and making stuff for myself and not just doing it when I hit the go live button, I feel like it needs to be documented as a way to hold myself accountable to get this done. I think I talked about it in the last video as well. Ha ha ha, that's the theme of this video. I talked about it in the last video as well, that I feel like my body of work was really big, but the moment I tried to condense it and make it fall into a format that made a little bit more sense, it was a lot less than I originally thought. And that was really hard. I feel like I'm constantly creating and making new things, but not with the intention of a portfolio. And I recognized that as I was starting to put things into a physical portfolio, I recognized that there wasn't enough work. And I need to have some form of accountability around this as like a documented way to show myself that I'm doing it and it's getting done. The sooner I can apply for an apprenticeship, the better it will be for not only my mental health, but my artistic growth. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I just didn't think that I had the necessary skills in order to accomplish it, but I'm trying to do my best to not talk down on myself as an artist and to recognize my talents and how far I've come in my growth. And that's something that's really hard to acknowledge. Even just scrolling through like an Instagram feed and like looking at everything I've made, I don't feel like it's enough. But a lot of the people in my corner and other artists in the industry tell me otherwise. So maybe having like a visual documentation would help me kind of understand and come to terms with the fact that this is something I am capable of doing and I'm accomplishing in the ways that I want, and accomplishing in the ways that I'm growing. So yeah. That's kind of where we are. I also have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of things to say. I know I said that before, but I have a lot of topics. I have a lot of hyperfixations. I care about a lot of things. I care about art. I care about plants. I care about film. Once again, I'm just a broken record right now. But I'm a yapaholic, and well, I try to condense that into a vlog format because vlogs are, you know, they aren't predominantly supposed to be talking. I feel like this is a good kind of alternative to show you guys some art stuff and talk about the things that I want to talk about. There's a lot going into this. There's a lot of thought and energy and time going into all of my artistic pursuits, and I think talking about it helps me be vulnerable and can relate to a lot of other people out there, a lot of other artists. And yeah, it's not just, oh, you're just some person on the internet like recording your life. Like anyone can do that, and I think technically anyone should do that. I think it's really core to the human experience is to kind of witness others and witness others' vulnerability and their feelings surrounding creativity and their projects or their life or anything for that matter. But I'm sharing a lot of those things here because I feel like it's important, and growing. Artistic growth. There's a lot of it going on. And it's, you know, very interesting to see how rapid of a pace it's happening at. Probably a lot faster than I originally thought. And I see it every day. Like, even my gray wash in this piece, as it comes up, when you see it, my gray wash in this piece is so much stronger than something that I made, once again, even like 2 months ago. A lot more technical and has a lot more deliberation and thought put behind each stroke. So, you know, it's cool to see, I guess, right? I feel like that's cool to see, at least for me. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'll leave y'all at. I'm pretty happy with this one. I think the gray wash turned out really nice. This is the first time I used diluted gray wash instead of just the straight ink with lines, and I want to practice a little bit more with this technique and learn a little bit more about the layering, and I think I'm gonna do that on the second one, have a little bit more like black work, and of course get the proper tools. So maybe I could do the gray wash beforehand and the lines after, like I had originally intended for these pieces. That way I could create a little bit more dimension and purposely leave some line work out to create some depth and dimension within the piece. So hopefully the next one, next one for sure, we'll be able to apply a little bit more. But I am happy with where this is at, and I really like the shape and the flow, and hoping for the next ones to equally be as cool. There's many more things kind of planned and in the works. I'll talk about that here too, but aside from a drawing series, I do want to talk about growth as an artist, as far as social media stuff goes. I also want to talk about my stream setup on Twitch. If you guys didn't know, I had a very interactive stream setup, and created my own little world for people to interact in. And I think it's a really great and fun way to engage with your audience. So I want to talk about that here. I want to talk less about the technical side of things. I think there's some much more better informed people to talk about those things. You should definitely check out Taijiro and even Ara. They do really, really good technical videos showing you the behind the scenes when it comes to StreamerBot. StreamerBot, that's what I use. They show a lot of the behind the scenes things. I mostly want to talk about lore and creativity and world building, as I have a lot of interest in those things. My original goal and dream was to be a concept artist. Like, when I was fresh in school, things kind of moved around, obviously. I am an illustrator at heart at the end of the day, and I've embraced that and will continue to chase that down for as long as the world will allow me to. But yeah, I definitely want to talk about conceptual stuff in world building and how we go about making a character that people can interact with and want to interact with, and build a world that people are happy to hang out in and spend their time in. So, yeah, we're gonna have some long form content regarding that stuff that I'm really, really excited and passionate about. I know there's not much of this left, but I hope you enjoy. If you stayed through the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for co-working with me. Enjoy the piece, of course. And I'll see you all on the next time. I'll see you soon, sweet ghouls.